Hello and how's it going, everybody? It is Skullzi here with the latest gaming news, rumors, and speculation. I have a pretty exciting video for you all today regarding everyone's favorite field, Toddfield. No, not Toddfield, Starfield. And today I want to switch things up a bit from the usual topic that I've been breaking down here in the channel lately, which is of course the potential for player-controlled spaceflight to actually be in this game, as well as analyzing all the various spaceship designs and models that we've seen so far in the various Starfield trailers and concept art. Basically, we've been lost up in space on that speculation station. Today though, we are going to violently crash that speculation station down to some more solid, confirmed ground. Okay, maybe that wasn't the best segue to use there, but anyway, let's not waste any more time and get straight into today's content. First off, in case you can't tell by the title, I'll be initiating in-depth breakdown entry protocols, as today we will be performing these entry protocols straight into the United Colonies, as we're going to enter them with so many protocols that they won't even know what to do. The UC will be like, what are we gonna do with all these protocols now, and why are they inside of us? What's happening? Anyway, today I want to break down legit every piece of confirmed information there is out there to find regarding the United Colonies, one of the primary factions within the world of Starfield. I'll break down their known settlements, territory, alignment, culture, apparent political structure, architecture, and more. You can basically consider this video to be your cumulative codex of everything there is to know about the United Colonies as of April 22nd, 2022, which is when I recorded this video. So prepare that Aurora space fish for this video, because we'll have a lot of decent and fun information to break down, only maybe keep that Aurora on the down low, as I'm sure the United Colonies probably aren't cool with it. Posers. The United Colonies are said to be the main military power within the settled systems, and the settled systems are the main and so far only confirmed playable area within Starfield. The settled systems are a group of different star systems and planets that fall on the outer boundaries of known and explored human space, and yes, humans mean that the Earth and other confirmed stellar bodies, such as the Alpha Centauri system, are indeed within Starfield's universe, but more on that later. First, let's touch on the overall culture and political alignment of the UC, which the UC is of course short for United Colonies and not United Colonies. Stop it. The United Colonies are said to be representative of what basically a true reflection of our own current world would be in the distant future, and the UC are also said to be the most powerful established military and political power in the game, making me wonder if they have direct connections back to the governments back on Earth, if the Earth is even still habitable within Starfield's universe. Well, we don't know much about the Earth at this time. We do know a healthy amount of information about the capital city of the United Colonies themselves, New Atlantis, which is located on the planet Jameson in the real-world system of Alpha Centauri. Alpha Centauri's close proximity to our own solar system means it's highly considered to most likely be the first extrasolar system that humans visit, meaning New Atlantis could actually be the oldest and perhaps the first colony outside of our own solar system within Starfield's universe. New Atlantis is said to be a huge melting pot of different people and cultures, each bringing their own individual ideals and beliefs into the city, such as a metropolis here on Earth. New Atlantis appears to be a megacity though, with cyberpunk-level skyscrapers reaching far up into the clouds above, and all their different colorful lights illuminating the night sky above like the very stars themselves. New Atlantis itself is also said to be a true reflection of what the Earth could look like in the distant future as well. We can also see it's very busy with multiple different ships and shuttles flying around. New Atlantis very clearly is a major and bustling settlement, including a major starport as well, which means it most likely could also be a major trading hub, and could very well be the largest settlement that we as a player could visit within Starfield itself. I mean, just look at the scale of this place. We haven't seen a city of this size and scale in terms of verticality within the Bethesda Game Studios RPG yet, which makes me wonder just how many of these buildings we as a player could actually enter or even interact with. There could be cities even larger than New Atlantis though, as it's said that the UC are the most powerful, established power within the settled systems, meaning the potential for unestablished rogue factions just as powerful as the United Colonies might actually be out there somewhere. The UC isn't a stranger to conflict though, after all. Within Starfield's universe, around 20 years before the start of the game itself, the United Colonies were engaged in an intense, system-wide war with the other major power in the settled systems, the Freestar Collective. The war between a UC and Freestar was known as the Bloody Colony War, and I'm not sure if it's just called the Colony War and Emil added the term bloody to just kinda add some descriptive prowess to it, but Emil Payuro literally called it the Bloody Colony Wars, so that's what I'm going with. After all, it just works. Right, Todd? During the timeline that the game takes place, though, the Bloody Colony War is somewhat over, as the UC and Freestar signed a shaky peace treaty. Regardless, it seems like the United Colonies and Freestar aren't friendly, though, and likely seek to disrupt each other's activities as often as possible. And if I had to make a guess, I'd say they're probably still fighting unofficially, and perhaps, depending on the player's choices in-game, we could either bring the two factions together finally, or maybe even bring forth the return of the Bloody Colony War, and work to wipe out one or even both of the factions entirely, but that much is some of that Redwater-based skooma speculation, just like Mama used to make. Well, on the topic of war and military, though, the overall structure of the United Colonies is very military-focused. The main governing body of the UC seemed to be a group called MAST, which stands for Military, Administration, and Scientific Triumvirate, and Triumvirate is an actual ancient Roman term, which basically means three people holding power, so if I had to make another guess, the UC likely is formed up of a council of three members, each representative of one of the different three wings or branches of MAST, meaning a representative or council member from the military group like a general or admiral, somebody from the scientific branch like a lead researcher or a doctor or something, and then somebody from the administrative branch such as a CEO or maybe a governor. The three are likely supposed to run the UC as equals, but given humanity and politics and how all that usually goes throughout history, I'm sure the future won't be much different, and things probably don't go as smoothly as they should be, and different members of MAST could even plot against one another in a kind of scientific space Game of Thrones type scenario for personal power and influence. Within the military branch of the United Colony Triumvirate, the overall ranking system seems to mirror that of the US Navy, as in this E3 2021 trailer document, we can see a letter apparently addressed to the player from UC Fleet Admiral Pascual Logan. Surprisingly not from Lieutenant Johnny Lard, though. Instead, I wonder if perhaps UC Fleet Admiral Pascual Logan is the leader of the entire military branch of that UC Triumvirate. According to this document, though, the UC are engaged in a somewhat new direct conflict with another in-game faction, the Crimson Fleet Pirates. The pirates apparently used to only remain active within Freestar space, but according to this document, the pirates have recently started operating within United Colony territory. Because of this, the UC has activated two different groups to combat the pirates, Vanguard and SysDef, with SysDef likely short for System Defense. Whether or not Vanguard and SysDef are part of the UC military or completely different factions or mercenary groups altogether has yet to be determined, but they are likely part of the UC military because in this very same document, we can see Vanguard and MAST being listed together under the same person. It seems like the United Colonies have some Roman vibes, at least in name, which makes me wonder if they're kind of going to be like the Space Imperials from the Elder Scrolls. They do have Imperial vibes already, given the heavy focus on military and political power and literal ancient Roman terminology baked into their power hierarchy, but this kind of makes me wonder about the Freestar Collective. Could Freestar be the opposite, kind of like rebels and representatives of freedom and artistic expression, or is there maybe more to this situation? We'll break that down here in a future video, but instead, let's move over to discussing other known United Colony territory and settlements. The term United Colonies clearly implies that the UC is a combination of different colonies united together as one political body, but if I had to make another guess, I'd say there are three major settlements and colonies within UC territory, and perhaps some more smaller ones as well, but one of these main ones is of course New Atlantis. I believe that these three major settlements will kind of be prospective capitals for each branch of MAST, with one being a focus on military power, another city being focused on scientific power, and then obviously the last being administrative and likely political. I could imagine that New Atlantis would be the administrative and political power of MAST, as it's also the colony of the whole United Colonies as a whole, and in combination with New Atlantis, there likely is a major settlement out there somewhere that serves as a secret research facility, probably doing cutting-edge and unethical research. And finally, I'm sure that there is a major military base that represents the majority of the United Colonies' military power, and this serves as the capital for the military aspect of the MAST Triumvirate, or very likely, instead of a settlement, this could be an entire fleet, and the capital of the military aspect of MAST could be a capital ship. Maybe that's what Vanguard is. Maybe Vanguard, instead of a faction, is what the entire military fleet of the United Colonies is referred to. While we don't know what these other cities or locations could be yet, we do have concept art for these two other United Colonies locations. These images could simply not be different locations and just be different perspectives or locations within New Atlantis, though, as they do have similar architecture and aesthetic to the confirmed actual New Atlantis visuals. However, we can clearly see that the UC takes pride in making things look good and fancy time, with towering structures, sleek edges and architecture, attention to detail, and even expensive ponds full of strange alien birds. The UC has money to burn and they want people to know about it, and obviously, along with money to burn, there is an inherent focus on fashion, which too seems to be a thing of particular interest within the United Colonies according to these concept arts. It seems like people of certain rank or positions are granted specific uniforms or clothing to wear in order to allow them to be distinguished of somebody of rank or position. Overall, the UC seems to be the most organized and powerful faction within Starfield for sure, and basically representative of what Earth culture and politics would be in the distant future. As such, I am sure the United Colonies will have a very large focus and role in the game, and maybe even be wrapped up directly into the main story as well, or at least plenty of side quests and other situations going down within the settled systems. My question to you though is, do you plan to join the United Colonies, fight against them, or just stay out of their way? Be sure to let me know down in the comments below, and thumbs up if you enjoyed the content. It really helps push the algorithm to show my content to new people. And finally, be sure to subscribe to help grow the community, the channel, and the family. And double finally, if you want to get a permanent future video shout out and get featured at the end of every single one of my videos like these fine people, you can support the channel over on Ko-fi, Patreon, or here on YouTube as an exclusive channel member. Links for all this and more are down in the description below, and as always, thank you for watching. Be sure to tune in next time when I smuggle Aurora space fish into New Atlantis. Ooh.
It just works.